like he did the last time, Ortiz gonna finish him.
Wow.
So he got to tighten up his defense.
10 steps behind you, right?
He got to tighten up his defense. Boots looked like himself. He was sharp, he was explosive, and, you know, the experience that he carried in the ring allowed him to be victorious that night, and his skills and talent.
Did you think he would look like that, or did you think he would look better, worse? What were you expecting going in?
I wasn't expecting anything.
Okay.
I was just expecting to watch Xander fight and Boots fight, and that was it. And I know he's faster than most. He's more explosive than most, but at the same time, he's shown in the past that he can get careless and that he's going out there just to fight, you know, and I don't think when you get higher and higher, that's going to be enough.
Eddie said this would be a massive fight, you versus him.
And they're just doing whatever happens. And then whatever it's going to be is what it's going to be.
He ain't that damn good, Sean, that he could do that?
He's that damn good, but when moments like that happen against this level, a 23-year-old, when that moment happens against a 23-year-old is different from when a moment like that happens against a Virgil Ortiz, a Sebastian Fundora. Not only are they more mature, but they're also more experienced in the ring. He does not get out of those moments.
Real strong guy. His knockout ratio is very high. What he got, like one, maybe two fights where it wasn't a KO?
Yeah, yep.
Xander don't have a high knockout rate, right?
Right.
13 KOs.
Out of how many fights?
Was 25?
13 and 23 wins.
Okay.
Which is kind of low in the beginning of your career. Usually, I think him and Ortiz will be an even more entertaining fight if they fight than last night. I think they're gonna go toe to toe, and it's really gonna be who can take the other one's punch.
Mm-hmm.
And Fundora.
Right now, the boxing world seems caught up in the excitement, with many calling the major title victory a flawless performance when it could actually mark the start of a much different story. Fans and analysts are praising Jaron Boots Ennis as the future undisputed champion and pointing to his latest win as evidence that he is prepared to dominate the sport.
I think we overhyping this victory in a sense where nobody picked Xander to win. I think it's going to be different when he goes up against a Fundora or a Virgil, because if one of those guys get him hurt like Xander did, I don't think it's going to be the same outcome. I don't worry about coming back to prove anything, but the only thing that I can say is I'm 10 steps ahead of him.
But while casual fans continue celebrating the victory, the pound-for-pound king himself, Terence "Bud" Crawford, has completely challenged that storyline. Instead of adding to the praise, Crawford rejected the growing hype and warned that what many viewed as a dominant performance actually exposed several serious weaknesses and dangerous habits. In his view, the fight was not proof of greatness. To someone with experience, it revealed the exact game plan needed to break down the rising star.
So my breakdown with Boots and Xander is, you know, I felt like Xander fought the wrong fight, you know, but, you know, a lot of people knew Xander was green and he was taking a fight too soon. But at the same time, you can't exchange with somebody that's faster than you and more athletic than you. So I thought that was the wrong game plan in his own right. You know, Boots is more faster, sharper, especially in the exchanges. And I think that's what led Xander to get hurt the times that he did get hurt, because he got caught with a shot that he didn't see.
Hey, but speaking to that though, real quick, and I'm sure you're going to agree with this, he had to, at some point, find moments to exchange with Boots in order to try to get off. I think ultimately that was how he was able to land that big punch that he landed in the third round. He had to be able to take chances, but the green in him didn't have the understanding as to when to take those chances.
That's my point. You know, that's where experience comes into play.
Yeah.
You know, knowing when to exchange, when not to exchange. You know, when to move, when to hold. Like if you watched when he got real hurt, real bad, he didn't know when to hold. you know, and we all yelling like, grab him. You know, he's right there to be grabbed.
Yeah.
And, you know, the Puerto Rican heart in him led him not to grab and take more punishment than needed, you know. So it was a great fight, you know. Boots showed heart, he showed grit, Xander showed tremendous heart. But I just think, you know, going forward, you know, both of them gonna have to sharpen up.
Sure.
The weaknesses became impossible to ignore once you looked beyond the final result of the Xander-Zayas fight. Crawford noted that Ennis was repeatedly getting hit, losing his balance, and clearly shaken by punches that a top-level fighter should not be taking. He believes Boots has a risky habit of throwing too many punches, pushing himself too far forward and leaving his defense open while chasing a dramatic finish. Against Zayas, he was able to recover and keep control, but Crawford delivered a clear warning. If a true world-class puncher lands those same clean shots, Ennis may not have the chance to recover, and the referee could be raising his opponent's hand instead. A fighter can only take those kinds of risks for so long before someone with real knockout power makes him pay for them.
I think it's going to be different when he goes up against a Fundora or a Virgil, because if one of those guys get him hurt like Xander did, I don't think it's going to be the same outcome.
That leads to the matchup Crawford believes could eventually end Ennis's unbeaten record. In his view, Sebastian Fundora is unlike anyone else in boxing, with a towering frame that gives him a major advantage. Crawford has even described Fundora as being like a cheat code in the 154-pound division.
What's even more shocking than all the above is that when Crawford was asked about who would win a fight between Fundora and Jaron Boots Ennis right now, shockingly, Crawford said Fundora. He believes Fundora is a cheat code at 154 and he can beat Jaron Ennis. That he believes he will beat Jaron Ennis. And that's a mega fight. That's a huge fight. But I must say, I'm shocked by Crawford's response to the question picking Fundora over Jaron Ennis. Remember, Fundora was knocked out by Mendoza not too long ago. So clearly Crawford was impressed by Fundora's performance against Keith Thurman. And when Crawford was being asked about, do you regret not fighting Keith Thurman at 147? He said no. And that's a silly question because Keith Thurman didn't want to fight Bud at 147. For like years, Top Rank tried to make the fight, and no one wanted to see Bud Crawford in general. But now everyone want to talk. What's funny, everyone was ducking Bud, but the ones that didn't, they ended up finding out what time it is, why he was being ducked.
Fundora is not only unusually tall, but has also developed a style that fully takes advantage of his incredible reach and powerful, accurate jab to keep opponents at a distance. Picture Boots moving forward with his hands low while throwing extra punches against someone who can connect from much farther away. Crawford strongly believes that Fundora's size, reach, and non-stop pressure would expose Ennis's defensive mistakes and create a stylistic matchup that the young champion would struggle to overcome.
You know, you talked about Boots and Virgil, but what do you think about Boots and Fundora after that performance?
I'm saying, yeah. I wouldn't rush to that.
In that fight too?
I'm a favorite, but like I'm saying, you know, Fundora, man, that range, he got to get past that range, you know, and he has good timing, and he throws the uppercuts, and you know, and he's standing up, you know, so these are great fights. That's a great fight, you know, that's a great fight. I don't know how he does in that fight. I think he does well. I can't say who will win, you know, like I say, I'm not Nostradamus. I was just thinking that I'm not. I know people love predictions because it's like fun. You know, people just want to hear what other people got to say. But like I'm saying, I couldn't tell you who will win that fight. I just know they're great fights to be had and made, and styles make fights. And I think they both tremendous talents. And I would love to see those guys go to work.
The story behind this possible matchup goes far beyond a simple clash of fighting styles and extends into behind-the-scenes politics and missed opportunities. Crawford revealed that he recently tried to arrange a fight with Fundora, but Fundora's team turned it down, believing that a bout with Errol Spence Jr. would attract much more attention.
I want to fight Fundora. You know what I mean? He got 2 belts. I want to become undisputed at 154. That was my train of thought. But when he said he didn't want to fight me because I wasn't basically big enough, I looked at him like, huh? I don't sell. That's what his handlers were saying. Oh, I don't sell, and they want to fight Errol Spence because he's a bigger fighter.
But you knew what that was, though.
Yeah. It's cool, Crawford.
The Fundora thing, you seen that play coming a mile away. Like, as soon as that fight was even talked about, I said it's going to be a phone call made, and he finna walk that back. Whether he wanted to fight or not, he wasn't going to be allowed to, and you know that. You know, Allen had made that call and was like, nah, we ain't.
Many people saw that explanation as surprising, especially since Crawford had already dominated Spence, but it also showed how carefully boxing teams choose the right opportunities for their fighters. Crawford has also said that both Vergil Ortiz and Boots Ennis missed their best chance to face him. According to Crawford, Ortiz passed on a mandatory opportunity while Boots reportedly said he was not ready to move up to 147 pounds when the fight was available. Crawford also responded to criticism from Ryan Garcia by reminding everyone that he has spent his entire career beating younger, ambitious opponents and will not allow anyone to change the story of what he has accomplished.
Win, lose, or draw, he's the ticket. I'll fight Terence Crawford. Come on, man. Boots had a chance to fight him. Vergil Ortiz had an opportunity to fight him. You know, but now everybody, I'll fight Terence, or I'm this, I'm that. I'm like, okay, cool. When y'all had y'all opportunity, you know, y'all went elsewhere. But now that y'all see I'm the ticket, now y'all like, oh yeah, we want to fight Terence Crawford. We want Terence Crawford. That's the narrative now. We want to fight.
We can get it on. So he says, what about you coming up? I said, no. I'm with Showtime. You know what I mean? I said, now, you want to make the fight, you call Steven Espinoza and talk to him and discuss that. Because that's who we with, you know what I mean? Yeah. You know? And when I said that, I said, plus I'm loyal to these guys. I don't just leave and go to another, promotional company or whatever.
These comments have created a major divide throughout the boxing world, with heated debates spreading across sports forums and social media. Many fans have pushed back against Crawford, accusing him of being bitter and claiming he is only criticizing Ennis because he views the younger, faster fighter as a threat to his position. They believe Ennis attacks with such speed, power, and relentless pressure that Fundora would struggle to keep up with him.
Young man is a phenom. He has everything that boxing takes. You know what I'm saying? My downfall came from me. You know what I'm saying? I beat my own self. You know what I mean? I don't want no fight you see me in the way I was destroyed, beat up, and ran over. I beat me. I mean, come on, you know. That's another conversation.
Right.
Another conversation. But back to Xander. Take this fight different, brother. Take the fight different. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, step to the side, do what you got to do. Take a tune-up fight, sharpen your swords up, sharpen your knives up, and then come back and revisit the situation if that's your route. Or you might want to take another route. And, there's more belts out there. You know what I'm saying? So it's still more belts to go grab and put together. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
You disagree?
No.
I disagree. That was more impulsive than Boots. I mean, yeah, I think so. I mean, Boots was calm. They took their time, patient. I went in there round one. We're gonna find out everything. You know how I was, Mill. Round one, we're gonna figure all this stuff out in round one.
On the other hand, many longtime boxing fans and experienced analysts strongly support Crawford's assessment. They believe the same defensive weaknesses are clearly visible and argue that Ennis is being given a pass for mistakes that would bring heavy criticism if almost any other fighter made them. Among many experts, the opinion is beginning to shift, with growing belief that the size and reach of a fighter like Fundora could become the obstacle that finally stops Ennis.
Critical about Boots, yes. Specifically, primarily, because I wanted you on here for this. Now, the kid is not game planning. The dad is not game planning. They're showing up to the ring. They're showing up to the ring, and they're just doing whatever happens. And then whatever it's gonna be is what it's gonna be.
He ain't that damn good, Sean, that he could do that?
He's that damn good, but when moments like that happen against this level competition, a 23-year-old, when that moment happens against a 23-year-old, is different But when a moment like that happens against a Virgil Ortiz, a Sebastian Fundora, not only are they more mature, but they're also more experienced in the ring. He does not get out of those moments, out of that moment with those guys. And I was talking to somebody. Go ahead.
To Sean's point, I think, Sean, correct me if I'm wrong, what you're getting at is even Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan needed the triangle. Even, Tom Brady, the greatest quarterback of all time, he needed a Bill Belichick system, and you need a system and a coach with the game plan to execute at the highest level.
I'm talking to somebody last night. I'm gonna say this, and then I'm gonna throw the ball to 9. I want you to take it from there. Now, I was talking to somebody, like I said, very close to Boots last night. I said, listen, the problem is, I said, you can have all the talent in the world. This is Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens against the New England Patriots. They're never getting past New England, don't matter how amazing Lamar is. So much talent, far more talented than Tom Brady, but does not have a system, does not systematically go into the ring.
At the same time, respected trainer Robert Garcia voiced complete confidence in his own fighter, pointing to Ortiz's outstanding recent performances as evidence that he is much more than simply a powerful puncher. The discussion among insiders made it clear that this was not just online speculation. Even some of the most experienced people in boxing could not agree on who would come out on top if this matchup eventually happens.
Boots versus Virgil is probably a bigger fight and a bigger, it could turn out to be a much better fight. I think both are warriors. Boots just showed it. And I think style-wise, it's a beautiful fight.
You're picking Fundora. Is that based off of, Boots getting hurt, or is that just because Fundora's kind of been on a roll recently?
But both. I think after we all seen that Boots does get hurt, and he got hurt, I think everybody could feel the same way about Fundora versus Boots, Virgil versus Boots. Fundora is showing that he's got great power too, but he's just too awkward, too difficult, too tall for anybody. So that's why that's my opinion. I could be wrong, and Boots goes and destroys Fundora. That'd be beautiful too. He's in boxing. He's a great name for boxing, great fighter that could become the next big superstar also. But look, I have Virgil in the same weight division, so obviously we have to also push for that, because